Thank you, John. What a week here at the John Gotti Jr. trial. From start to finish, never a boring day. First, we heard earlier in the week that the defense might actually call Mafia turncoat Sammy the Bull Gravano to testify. Now, here's why. One of the charges that John is facing as part of RICO Count 1 is that he took part in the conspiracy to kill Louis DeBono, a Gambino crime family captain who was murdered in the World Trade Center parking garage. Now, when Gravano testified against John Gotti Sr. and helped put him away for 19 murders in addition to a whole host of other crimes, he supposedly told all that he knew about the DeBono murder and everything else. But Gravano never mentioned that John Gotti Jr. had anything to do with the Louis DeBono murder, and John A. Light said that he did. In addition to that, Mikey Scars de Leonardo, as he finished his cross-examination, talked about how he was actually a very big part of the plot to have Curtis Sliwa kidnapped and assaulted because of Curtis's comments on the radio at that time about John Gotti Sr. Then, we know for a fact that John Gotti Jr. doesn't like Curtis Sliwa because we heard quite a few tapes this week, including this tape from March of 2003, where John Gotti Jr. is talking with his attorney, Richie Raybach, who we've heard in subsequent testimony is actually the house counsel to the Gambino crime family. Listen to what Richie Raybach and John Gotti Jr. had to say in March of 2003 from Raybrook Prison about Curtis Sliwa.
Amazing how life just turned out. He was one of the most hated guys in the city. The police department hated him. Everybody hated him. And he's just real today. His wife hated him. She divorced him. And things about him. How he staged the kidnapping. She came clean on it. Your ex-wife labels you phony and it gets to the point.
Since when does that credibility go in?
You know where I'm going with this. She talks about it. He staged the kidnapping and so on and so forth. Your credibility is supposed to be shot.
Speaking of Curtis Sliwa, the other turncoat that we heard from this week was Joey D'Angelo, yet another Staten Islander who testified that it was he who drove the cab in which Curtis Sliwa was shot. Now, Joey D'Angelo was anxious to prove his loyalty to the family, the Gambino crime family, after Gravano flipped. So one of the things he was anxious to do was participate in this kidnapping and assault of Curtis Sliwa. In addition to all the Sliwa testimony, D'Angelo offered some damaging evidence that he and John Gotti Jr. cooked up this withdrawal strategy from prison in late 2004, early 2005, which would seem to bolster the prosecution's case that Gotti was still a very active mobster even after 2003, which is the date that Gotti would have needed to withdraw. From Manhattan Federal Court for UberTV.com, I'm Frank Morano.